All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something that, well, it feels a little bit like trying to describe a fireworks display over the radio, but trust me, it's going to work. Usually when a huge piece of media drops something that just, breaks the internet, everyone talks about the visuals.
Oh, absolutely. The graphics, the lighting, the hair physics.
Exactly. But today, we are stripping all that away. We're going text only.
But it's a really fascinating exercise, actually, like a kind of sensory deprivation. When you remove the visual spectacle, all the neon, the fast cars, you're forced to confront what's actually underneath.
The narrative skeleton.
Precisely. You have to listen to the intent instead of just, watching the explosion.
So here's what we're doing. We're analyzing a cultural artifact, the written transcript of Grand Theft Auto 6, the trailer 2. And just to be super clear here, we're not diving into the dark web. This deep dive is based entirely on the dialogue and audio cues found in the official transcript of this one trailer.
Yep.
No rumors, no leaks from some Reddit thread 3 years ago, just the words on the page. And that's such a crucial distinction because trailers are designed to be deceptive, right?
Totally.
They're montages. They want to give you a feeling, not a linear story. Visuals can lie, but dialogue, words are specific. So our mission here is to deconstruct those clues, figure out the dynamics between our new protagonists, Jason and Lucia, and really understand the world they're in.
Okay, so let's get into it. Because the very first thing we find in this transcript, it's not a heist. It's not a police chase.
Not even a drug deal.
No. It's surprisingly domestic and honestly, a little bit depressing.
It is remarkably mundane.
Yeah.
We open with our character, Jason. And he isn't, commanding a room or holding a gun. He's being shouted at.
Right. This voice, presumably a boss or a landlord, just yells, "What you doing up there?"
Yeah.
And Jason's reply is, "Oh, just fixing some leaks."
Fixing leaks. I mean, just pause on that for a second. In any other crime drama, you'd immediately think that's a metaphor. Oh, for sure. Like he's silencing an informant or plugging a security hole in a plan.
Exactly. But the context clues here, they really suggest he is literally, physically fixing a roof.
Because the guy's response is, seriously, dude? You got some time on your hands. It makes him sound idle, not like a busy criminal mastermind.
He's just a guy with nothing better to do. And then we get this character, Brian, who says, "I got some properties with paying tenants," and then he snaps, "Just go get me my checks."
I gotta give you my checks. It's so unglamorous. He's an errand boy.
It completely subverts the cool criminal trope. It grounds Jason in a reality we rarely see in this genre. It establishes this motivation that's just born out of economic need. He's not trying to take over the world yet. He's a guy who needs to pay rent or collect it for somebody else.
Makes him feel vulnerable.
Totally. And his reaction is just, "See ya, Brian." He doesn't fight back. He just takes it.
But then the transcript just pivots.
Yeah.
Hard. We go from a rooftop to a correctional facility. And this is where we get some really specific names.
We do. We get a full government name here. Jason identifies himself as a Jason Duval, and he says why he's there. "I'm here for Lucia Caminos."
She's supposed to be getting out. That feels scheduled, planned. But I want to drill down on this little exchange with the guard. The guard asks, "I seen you here before." And Jason says, "You might have?"
That is just a masterclass in evasive dialogue, isn't it? You might have.
But isn't that risky? If you're picking someone up from prison, don't you want to be totally invisible? Why play these little games?
I don't think it's a game. I think it's survival. Think about his options. If he says no and the guard remembers him, now he's a liar. Suspicious.
Okay, fair point. Yeah.
And if he says, "Yes, I was inmate number whatever," he marks himself as a target. "You might have" is his perfect non-answer. It tells us he knows the system, but gives away nothing.
So he might be an errand boy for Brian, but he's not soft. He knows his way around a cage. And then we get the reunion. We hear, "Love you, Jason," followed by a toast to new beginnings.
And that's the emotional anchor of the whole thing. It immediately sets up the core dynamic. This is a duo. It's probably romantic with the "love you," but it's also a partnership. They're focused on a reset.
But let me play devil's advocate here. In this genre, when a character toasts to a new beginning, isn't that basically the kiss of death?
Oh, absolutely.
It feels like the narrative equivalent of saying, "I'll be right back" at a horror movie.
Yeah.
You just know it's all about to go wrong.
It's pure narrative irony. The audience knows this is a crime story. A new beginning in this world just means a new way to get into trouble.
They're not toasting to opening a bakery.
Not at all. And the transcript confirms our cynicism almost instantly.
Right, because we go from to new beginnings, straight to a sudden aggressive shout, hands above your head, "Now you stay."
The pacing is just bang. One second you're toasting the future, the next you're being ordered to freeze. It feels like their fresh start gets compromised immediately. The world just doesn't care about their plans.
And speaking of things being compromised, their relationship doesn't seem like it's all smooth sailing either.
Yeah.
There was this one line that really jumped out at me. It's so specific. Someone says, "You broke my nose, that's what."
Yeah. That line is doing a lot of heavy lifting for their character development. What stood out to you about it?
It's the intimacy of it. It's not "you tried to shoot me" or "you stole my score." It's "you broke my nose."
Yeah.
That feels messy. It feels passionate and chaotic, not like a business dispute.
Messy is the perfect word. It adds this really gritty texture to their relationship. It tells us they aren't some polished, idealized power couple. They have baggage.
They've physically hurt each other.
Right, but it also makes them more complex. "You broke my nose" is a grievance, for sure. But they're still together. They're still toasting to new beginnings. It suggests this bond that's maybe stronger than physical pain or maybe a codependency that's really dangerous.
So they're bound together by trauma as much as by love.
I think so. It raises the stakes. If they can survive each other, maybe they can survive the city.
That's a good point. And they definitely want more than just survival. We get these lines like, "The only thing that matters is who you know and what you got." And then, "If we're going to do this, we're doing it right."
That phrase, "doing it right," is so critical. It connects right back to new beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
It implies that whatever they did before, whatever got Lucia locked up, they get it wrong.
They were sloppy, amateurs.
Exactly. And now there's this ambition to be professional, to be calculated.
Trust me, this place is just a start for us.
Yeah.
They're not just trying to survive, they're looking to climb. But here's the problem with climbing. The higher you get, the more people can see you.
Ambition attracts attention. And this is where the transcript takes a very sharp turn into paranoia.
Oh yeah, this section gave me chills. We get a new name, D, and the line is, "Yo D, this fool a Fed."
This is a huge pivot point. Fed! Federal agent. This isn't just local cops anymore. This is high-level heat.
But who are they talking about here? This fool. Is it Jason? Because if it is, that changes the entire conversation we just had.
That is the ambiguity the script just leans right into. If Jason is the one being accused, it recontextualizes everything. Remember the prison scene.
I've seen you here before.
You might have.
Oh, wow. So if Jason is a Fed, that you might have, wasn't him being a former inmate. It could be him having visited the prison professionally.
It's a real possibility. Or, it could be simpler. In the criminal underworld, if you don't fit in, maybe you're too quiet, maybe you're fixing leaks instead of partying, people get suspicious.
So Fed might just be slang for "you don't belong here."
Could be, but the warning that comes after is terrifying either way. They got your name, address, they got everything.
Total surveillance. It taps into that very modern fear, doesn't it?
It does. In old crime stories, you could disappear.
Mm.
In the modern world, privacy is a myth. So for criminals trying to do it right, the fact that they have everything just creates this immense pressure. You can't hide.
You can only run. So we've got paranoia, accusations, and then this next line. This might be the most confusing and important line in the whole document. Us cops, we gotta protect each other.
Yes. That line it stops you in your tracks.
I read that 3 times. Us cops.
Yeah.
Who is saying this? And why does it matter so much?
Well, this is where a text-only analysis really forces you to think. There are 2 main paths this could go down, and they both dramatically change the story. Path 1. One of our protagonists is actually an undercover officer.
Which brings us right back to the Jason is a Fed theory.
Exactly. If Jason is the one saying, "Us cops, we gotta protect each other,"
Yeah.
then the whole thing, the leaks, the prison pickup, the new beginnings, it's all a cover, a deep cover-up.
That would be a massive twist. It would mean the romance is a lie, or at least a huge conflict of interest.
Right. "Love you, Jason" becomes "I have to arrest you, Lucia." It's classic tragedy. But then there's path 2.
Okay.
Path 2 is that this dialogue comes from an antagonist, a corrupt police force.
Right, where the line between criminal and law enforcement is basically gone.
And if the police are operating like their own gang, we got to protect each other, then they're just another rival faction for Jason and Lucia to deal with.
I actually find that more disturbing. It paints this picture of institutional corruption where the cops aren't enforcing the law, they're just protecting their own tribe.
It reinforces that us against the world theme. If the law is just a closed loop, then Jason and Lucia really only have each other. It isolates them completely.
Which makes that line later on, "You and me, Lou, we got this,"
Yeah.
feel so much more important.
Because if the cops are a gang and the criminals think you're a Fed, you have nowhere else to turn.
That isolation is real, but the environment around them is anything but quiet. The audio cues in here really crank up the chaos. We get these vocalizations of gunfire, literally written as like, brap, 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 and ring the bell, shots, baby.
It's so visceral, and it's such a sharp contrast to the fixing leaks opening, right? We've gone from the silence of a rooftop to the auditory overload of automatic weapons.
Ring the bell. That's interesting phrasing. It sounds like a sport.
Exactly, like a boxing match. It treats the violence as a spectacle, as entertainment, shots, baby. There's a joy in it. It suggests for some people in this world, the violence isn't just a means to an end, it's the fun part. It's the adrenaline.
And we can't ignore where all this is happening. The transcript confirms it loud and clear. Say, Vice City, baby. Vice City, baby.
The return. But notice the repetition. It's like an incantation. They're hyping themselves up, buying into the myth of the city. Vice City is a character in itself.
And part of that character is the absurdity. We get a segment that reads like a commercial. Come to Phil's ammunition today.
This is the satire coming through. This deep dive wouldn't be complete without touching on the social commentary, and the slogan is just perfect. We got more guns than the law allows.
I laughed out loud when I read that. More guns than the law allows. That doesn't even make sense legally. You can't advertise that you're breaking the law in your own slogan.
It doesn't make legal sense, but it makes perfect cultural sense inside this world. It's hyperbole. It's mocking the obsession with firepower, and it fits the tone of a place where brap, brap, brap is just background noise.
It feels like the city itself is just egging them on. Like, here, have more guns than you're allowed. Go make a mess.
It's providing the tools for their own destruction.
And in the middle of all that satire and violence, the transcript ends on such a weirdly human, almost pathetic note.
I loved this detail. It just grounds everything again.
The line is, hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up, please?
It's so desperate, isn't it?
It is. It sounds like someone trying to make a sale or get a date or just find any connection in the city that wants to eat them alive. It feels very lonely.
It completely juxtaposes the confidence we heard earlier. We heard, we doing it right and we got this, but we end on, can you hook me up, please?
Yeah.
It reminds us that despite the big talk, these characters are struggling. They're hustling. The laugh at the end is dark. It's the laugh of someone who knows they're in way over their head.
It really brings the whole thing full circle. If we try to synthesize all this, we have Jason and Lucia, a couple trying to start over. He's got landlord problems. She's fresh out of prison.
Right. Domestic problems colliding with huge ambition. They want to do it right, act like professionals.
But the world won't let them. They're getting accused of being a Fed. They're being warned that they got everything on them.
And you have the ambiguous threat from the police force itself with that protect our own mentality. It's this three-way conflict. Our protagonists, the criminal underworld that suspects them, and a police force that acts like a rival gang.
They're a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
And the only release valve seems to be just embracing the chaos.
Exactly. And that's the tragedy and the thrill of it. They're running toward the very thing that's probably going to destroy them, telling themselves that this time, with these new beginnings, it'll be different.
You know, looking at all of this, I just keep coming back to that one line. It really haunts me. Us cops, we got to protect each other.
It is the standout mystery, for sure.
If we're really just sticking to the text, that line forces you to question the perspective of everything else we've read. If a protagonist said that, the criminal ambition might just be a performance.
Or, here's another thought. Maybe in this world, the performance is the only reality left. In a place where doing it right only means you win, maybe the distinction between a cop protecting his own and a criminal protecting his partner is meaningless. They're just tribes fighting for territory.
Wow. That is a heavy thought to leave us on. The line between the law and the lawless might just be a matter of who's holding the keys to the cell.
Indeed. In Vice City, the badge might just be another type of gang color.
Well, that was a ride. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the text of the Vice City underworld. It is messy, it's loud, and it is fascinating. We will catch you on the next one.
Stay curious.